What would happen if you took off the mask?
It would be very painful.
You wouldn't like it.
Uh-oh, we're live.
They expect to find a body.
Oh, my brother. They expect to find one body in the crash.
Oh, no.
We're live, dude.
Buttons aren't working. Okay, so everybody can probably hear me, but yes. I'm going to have to dip out for a second and refresh.
Uh-oh. I've been left alone. I'm alone, live. No image shared. Merely a ghost on the internet. Well, in case you guys haven't figured it out, just based on the thumbnail, this is going to be a spicy episode.
Super spicy. I'm back. Let's do this. Oh, that's not encouraging. Seems broken. Nothing's working correctly. I don't know if the audience can hear me. I don't know what's going on. Everything seems to be broken.
Here, just why don't we just shut it down completely, drop it to the link, and then we'll try it again.
No, stay put. I don't know what happened. Everything went sideways, but it appears that everything's working again. So let me get the share link up. Hey guys, sorry about hey, live is hard mode.
Well, I mean, at least on Firearms Friday, the free keyboard demo music you play kind of slaps, So
it does. That is not free music.
I know you pay a pittance.
I pay good money for the licenses to the music that I use.
Just so the audience understands, Chris gets deeply offended if you assume something is free that he in fact paid for.
Well, I'm a devout capitalist. In fact, I'm such a devout capitalist. We're going to talk about the financial benefits of large breasts later in the show today. Sergeant Major asks, "Is your shirt busted?" Nope, it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna try to spin this. I'm gonna try to spin this in the correct direction again, so that later on I can edit this episode into two separate episodes, one about the first story and one for the second story, because both of these stories are super duper spicy, and hopefully we'll be grabbing some big clicks, especially the second one. The first story is pretty intense, but the second story involves some big names, and I'm going to chase the SEO and the clicks on that. So probably be up late tonight. Y'all, maybe who knows? Maybe what I'll do is do a Rumble Premium exclusive while I do the edits and kind of talk about the process and all that. If anybody's interested in watching that this evening. So, all right, good morning, everybody. It is Firearms Friday. We're going to talk about heartwarming stories of death and destruction where lawfully armed citizens do their manly duty, right?
Yep.
I mean, let's face this, gentlemen, right? And Megan, I see you in the chat, and you have a responsibility to your children, but men, it's different. You have a divine obligation to go out into the world appropriately armed to hunt the mammoth and to defend the clan. That's on you. Like it or not, that's what God made you. So,
And furthermore, the essence of man, okay, the power of man is the ability to at once create life and to take life, okay, um, and that is what I mean. That's what any man wants to do, really, in his core, okay, at the foundation of his being is to create new and beautiful life, and to take the life of the wicked around him, okay. It is your basically palate. It's the inside every man, or at least it is inside every man with a healthy hormonal levels. Unlike some of the characters you'll be seeing in this episode, it is your inner paladin that commands you to do such.
yeah. I mentioned we went on a little bit of a tangent yesterday. We were talking about doing the slam poetry stuff. And I was interviewed related to my several wins doing the slam poetry and the article Vigilante Verses. And guys, this is almost 20 years ago, 2007, 2008. I've got a copy of the article pinned up on the wall back there. Maybe I should try and find a link to that and put it on our website. That'd be cool. But one of the things that I explained to the interviewer when he was asking me about worldview type of stuff was exactly what Mario was talking about there. And I said, every man in his life must create something beautiful and destroy something evil. And at that point in my life, when I was giving that interview, I was a pretty fresh soldier. I was a specialist, about 26 or 27 years old. And at that point in my life, I had spent a great deal of time as an electrician and done everything from, I built everything from paper mills and oil refineries all the way to churches and doctors' offices and family homes. I built some beautiful churches in Savannah, Georgia. And I took a lot of pride in the fact that, oil mills, paper refineries, there's a beauty there, an industrial wonder, a majesty to the product of human ingenuity. But when you build a church, that's something that it's beautiful in a different way, in a very high level of beauty. And Jordan Peterson's done some great lectures on faith and aesthetic and what beauty means philosophically that are definitely worth your time. Go check some of those out. But I had that conversation with the interviewer. This is before I had ever been to a war and hunted and killed evil men for fun and profit. And Hemingway was right about something. Hemingway got it absolutely dead nuts correct. Once you have hunted armed men and found that you have a taste for it, nothing else will ever truly satisfy you. It is an amazing thing, but it's one of those threshold things that we talk about, right? As a parent, you cannot transmit across the divide of the paradigm shift to a person who is not a parent what it means to be a parent, right? Creating something beautiful and destroying things that are evil, those are paradigm shift thresholds back across which you cannot transmit the information. You cannot understand what that change means until it has changed you personally. So
And I think
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I think it also with Hemingway, Hemingway's testosterone levels were so high, the only safe place to store him was an active war zone. So
I almost put that coffee back in this cup. The only safe place was what again?
The only safe place to store him is an active war zone, like the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, Hemingway's one of those. If you were to hand Hemingway a DJI drone, there would be no more evil.
Hemingway is the type of author where you could basically find a man who's like, I don't read no books. Read, what do I look like, a queer? Like the guy who never reads books. If you give him some Hemingway books, he'll actually enjoy them. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Exactly.
So let's.
I'm gonna let you set her up. Here's the article in question.
Okay.
And
I got it.
So I've got it in reader mode, but I've also got the tweet from Libs of TikTok pulled up. So
I've got it on my end as
let's get it. Right. Let's get it started, and then I want to share the image.
Okay, so This story takes place in Kentucky. Okay, a man masquerading as a woman had a violent, unhinged meltdown on the road, attacking another driver who had his 3 young grandkids in the car. The lunatic was so out of control he nearly flipped over the car with the children inside. The grandfather had to pull a gun and shoot the deranged transgender to protect himself and his innocent kids. The transgender survived, wah, 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 and was charged with 4 counts of wanton endangerment. I don't wanton endangerment. That seems a little light. We could get some attempted murder there and kind of keep this guy off the street for decades, please. Anyway, Graham
In
Bain.
fact, I titled the show, and in the description, I referred to the actions of the assailant as attempted murder because I know what words mean.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, so the tranny's name was Graham Bain. All right, and Chris.
A self-described they them.
Why does he wear the mask?
Remember, Trump is for you. Kamala was for they them.
Absolutely. Graham Bain, why does he wear the mask? There has to be one survivor in the crash, or one body found in the crash. A self-described they-them allegedly broke out into a fit of road rage in Kentucky, chasing down and repeatedly ramming into another man's vehicle while his 3 young kids were inside, nearly flipping it over. The man pulled a gun and shot at Bain in self-defense. Bain survived and was taken into police custody, where he was charged with 4 counts of wanton endangerment. All right, so just repeating the same thing again. Bottom line here, we don't know what set off this tranny. All right, but he decided he was going to play Twisted Metal in real life. All right, one day on that road in Kentucky. Now he was repeatedly ramming his car into the grandpa's minivan. Right, the grandfather got out, fired a shot. It went through the windshield. Now, you would think that there's the grandfather standing outside of the car, gun trained on this individual. Now, instead of this deterring Mr. Bain from basically continuing his assault, he decided to put the vehicle back into gear and repeatedly ramming the vehicle with the 3 young children inside, at which point the grandfather shot him 3 more times. Unfortunately, Grandpa, maybe he didn't have his reading glasses on, because he managed to hit the guy in the abdomen, and he unfortunately survived this incident.
So let me 2 things on that. Okay, so shortly after I got back from Afghanistan, I was tasked to train a bunch of Marines for combat convoy operations. So I've got all these Marines out here that are mostly keyboard warriors getting ready to go on their first deployment. You know, some of these guys were E5s, E6s, E7s even, who had spent their whole career riding a desk doing, you know, garrison spook work basically. And it's all right, Lowry, these guys are going to be out. They're going in the shit. We need to get them ready. So let's do this thing. And so before we get the physical, like hands-on training with the vehicles, I'm just talking to these guys. I've got them out in a group, and I said, all right, let me get my drivers. Raise your hand. And, you know, mostly a bunch of corporals put their hands up. I'll be driving. And I say, okay, corporals, what is your main battle weapon? Right. And, you know, one of them steps forward. He's all like, "Oh, Sergeant, my main battle weapon is the M16A2," and starts describing the gas powered round. Like, shut up, boys. Sit down.
Spartans, what is your profession?
You're going to be driving an armored truck. That is your main battle weapon, right? That is your weapon. Right. And when we got into the simulation, they took that shit to heart. We put them in situations where they were being surrounded by literally battalions of hostile hostile foreigners, you know, enemy soldiers. And buddy, my drivers, they immediately put that hammer down and just started running over terrorists. It was beautiful to see. Right. Brilliant. But the point is, the vehicle is a weapon. Let me bolster that a little bit further. Over the last several years, you've heard that ridiculous, obnoxious narrative that the police just go around murdering unarmed black men. We've covered this in detail a few times on the show, right? About 2 years ago, we did one in particular where we took every single incident in the U.S., and the fact that we were able to do that in a 1 or 2 hour show tells you a lot right there. Ask the average believer, whatever, and it's thousands of unarmed black. No, it was 12 that year. And we went through the list, and I think it was either 6 or 7 of them that were classified as unarmed black men killed by police were driving a vehicle and attempting to run over or ram a police officer or a police vehicle or driving into a police building when they were shot because they were attacking with a vehicle. That is not an unarmed person, right? Somebody behind the wheel acting aggressively is not unarmed. They're armed with a freaking missile that is bigger than the target. So to be clear, the headline in this story, tranny attacks family. This is an armed assailant, a dangerously armed assailant. There's a reason we've covered the stories about love trucks.
Yep.
A vehicle is a weapon.
Yes, 100%. Same with the...
And yes, Olson, a love truck is a difficult weapon to conceal carry.
Well, not really. It is. It's open carry. It's an open carry weapon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you
hey, Mother Russia, weapon carries you.
Put it in H. Anyway, so you talked about you veered there into Afghan terrorists and black people, but the op we're focused on today is the trannies. So
yes,
bring it back for a minute. Can you pull up?
In fact, the title this morning is Transmission.
Can you pull up the photo of that guy again? I want to make a comment about him.
You know, whenever I get my oil change, I always tell them to check my gender fluid because I don't want my tranny to start complaining.
Okay, so let's talk about something that many of you may be familiar with. But it's called the uncanny valley. Okay, and that's that instinct, that perception that you don't even have to think about it. Your brain automatically has a certain number of functions that you don't have to think about. It's working for you. Okay, your brain's trying to help you, and when you see people like this, you automatically get that uneasy feeling, all right? And you don't know where it comes from, and I don't care how liberally indoctrinated, how leftist indoctrinated you are, you know something's not quite right when you see something like this, okay? Physiognomy is real, okay? People talk about it as a pseudoscience, but you know, your instincts are there for a reason. The reason you are here today, every single person in this chat listening to this show, is because your ancestors, through a long chain of history, all right, over thousands of years, obeyed their instincts and stayed out of deadly situations, okay? So always trust your instincts. And when you see an individual like this, it is not discrimination. It's not. I thought I was having. Oh God, they're comparing Cameron to the tranny Jesus. Oh, that's savage. Well, you know what? It's a good thing he's not here today because Cam might be on suicide watch, Aaron.
Oh God, Sergeant Major said said he thought it was Cameron too. Oh God, savage. Savages. This is why everybody needs to watch this show, because my audience is full of savages.
Not gonna lie, pretty based. Anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, trust your instincts. When you see something like this, you know, and there's no amount of like leftist indoctrination that's going to change that. Okay, so uncanny valley. Physiognomy is real. You can tell if someone is evil by looking at them. Okay, I firmly believe that. All right, so you can get this unsightly character off the screen if you wish.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, what Mario's talking about, the uncanny valley story time again, and I'll try to keep this one quick because we got another spicy bit to get to. When I was in my very early 20s. I worked for a little while as a bouncer at a club in downtown Atlanta called The Chamber. The Chamber is an S&M fetish club, and I was security. I was the bouncer there. There's a funny story behind how I ended up with that job. It was a fun gig for the little while that I did it, just a few months. And my job basically had 2 parts. I worked the door and took the entrance fee and prevented the unwanted from getting in, and then I would patrol the building to make sure that people weren't having weird sex in the little theaters and stuff, and eject them. More than once, I was seen walking through the club, holding a couple up by their ankles and just walking them out, and dropping them on the curb, bare beam and butt naked. I'd let the cops come in and collect their property, but I'd just drag them out, however I found them. So I can't remember if it was.
I got to know real quick. Did you have to mop it up after?
No, we had somebody else for that.
Okay. I wouldn't want to mop up a dungeon party.
No.
Oh, God.
No, that was somebody else's job.
Hope he was well compensated.
My job was basically to hit people that liked getting hit, so you had to hit them just a little bit harder to make your point, right?
Harder, Daddy. No,
I gotta lie.
No, you have to leave. I'm not playing with you.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. One night every week was there was a special deal for cross-dressers. Now, remember, we're talking very early 2000s, like 2000, 2001. And if you remember, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we were all being told that it was very important that you understood the differences between the different types of degenerates, right? You'd get in trouble if you called a transgender a transsexual. There was an important difference. I don't know what it was, but we were told that there were transgenders, transsexuals, drag queens, cross-dressers, and a couple of other categories, and they were all very different, and it was really important that you knew the difference. Of course, now they're all just transgender, and God forbid you try and pretend like you know the difference and say that one is the other or whatever. But anyway, back then.
So you're saying respect my pronouns isn't really a new thing. These people, it's all about artificial identity and
Well, we could do a whole show on this where we go into greater detail. The respect my pronouns thing is just another piece of moving the goalposts. Because part of the tactic is, okay, we're going to tell you what we want from you, and as soon as we get the whole society to kind of fall in line on that, we're going to change what we want. And we're going to change it so much that everything you did to do the thing we wanted you to do before is now the evil thing, is now the bad thing, right? But
sorry, I'm derailing you, but at least I'm derailing you topically. Okay.
Correct. So anyway, back then, and this is to the Uncanny Valley thing. There was no cover charge. One of these nights is special for cross dressers, and it was like I think it was a $20 cover charge. And it was free if you were in drag. And this dude shows up, and this was obviously like a 55-year-old man, not quite shaved head, just like balding with the little monk ring cut short. But he was in a yellow summer dress, had pearl earrings and a pearl necklace, no makeup, just pearl earrings and necklace, yellow summer dress. Shows up, and I looked at him. I said, "That would be $20." He says, "But it's supposed to be free for drag." I said, "No." I said, "Honey, it's free for drag queens. You're a dude in a dress. If you want to get in for free, you need to go home and try harder."
You have to try.
we reward people putting in the effort. And sweetheart, you haven't done that. I could throw on a dress and be like, if I threw on a yellow dress and said, "I'm a woman now,"
you don't have that image.
Nothing else. Change nothing else. Just throw on a yellow dress. There are pictures. Would you look at me and say, "Oh yeah, that's a woman"? Hell no, you would not.
No, I would look at you and say...
You would look at me and say, "Lowry, for God's sake, go put clothes on."
I would look at you and say...
You're scaring the children.
I would look at you and say, "Kids, get back in the car, now."
Yeah. Kids, get back in the car. We're leaving. No questions. No questions.
But I want to... No. We'll stop it.
Close your eyes and follow the sound of my voice. I will put you in the car.
Stop at Dairy Queen. We'll stop at Dairy Queen. Get in the fucking car. We'll stop.
Yeah. My
That
dad
is that
says
is
if I
correct.
put on a
Sergeant.
dress, I would be uglier.
That
Like
is
I said,
correct.
there are pictures. Several years ago, I taught a women's armed self-defense class, and I put on it was a Halloween costume princess dress, but what amounted to an evening dress to teach the class, to demonstrate to this group of professional women that you can in fact conceal carry firearms in evening attire. So I was wearing an evening dress, and I had a little clutch purse, and I was wearing 7 firearms.
Well, one day, Chris will run for governor of Georgia, and those photos will be sold to Fox Atlanta. Okay.
Hell yeah, they will. And you know what? Gun-toting mamas will vote for Lowry.
Expect they would. Why not?
All right. So
Talk
now it's time.
E-thoughts, terror.
Oh yeah, we're moving on to We're moving on to terrorizing e-thoughts. In fact, so
Thought Patrol gone wrong. Our next
story.
story.
This one's spicy. Honestly, I love this story, and I never thought I would say this, but
hold on.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to something about you. You might be now. We wanted to do maybe a Rumble exclusive, okay, or a longer long form show, kind of just talking about going deep into this trans issue, right, and kind of understanding where it came from, where it's going if left unchecked, and maybe the hormonal issues, okay, just from a scientific perspective, like how this happens and what is wrong with these people, okay. Now, think about these transgender, these male to female transgenders in particular, okay, is if they're taking their hormone therapy, all right, they're being artificially injected with dangerous amounts of estrogen that do not belong in their body, okay. And there's a fundamental difference in how estrogen and testosterone interact within you, all right. People often associate testosterone with increased aggression and increased violence, okay. That may be the case when the individual makes the choice to use violence, okay, or aggression in a situation. But testosterone also increases confidence, all right. So a man with high testosterone is not likely to just lash out in public and attack people. He's more likely to be calm and reserved because he's confident in that he can handle the situation, all right. Now, when you take a man and you artificially inject estrogen into him, he gets more emotional and is in fact more prone to violence, okay. So, because you've seen it in women, right? Larry and I are in our early 40s, okay. If you've reached our age, then you've had a crazy girlfriend in the past, right? The girlfriend who basically a girlfriend who physically attacks you, all right, and you can't do anything really in response other than restrain her. Why would she just lose her cool and physically attack you? Well, it's because that's the estrogen, okay. Estrogen has a place, okay. Estrogen, it's essential for women, but sudden dumps of estrogen into the bloodstream cause erratic and psychotic behavior. So with a woman, that's fine. Okay, that's normal. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, erratic psychotic behavior.
But when you have what's called an estrogen dump in a man, all right, in a male platform, well, that becomes significantly more dangerous than two women like trying to tear each other's hair out. All right. So just wanted to talk about that. Estrogen in men is dangerous and results in irrational and psychotic behavior. And the same thing happens in female to male trannies. I mean, look, how many? What have we had? 3 so far of female to male trannies who shot up a school, shot up a location. The same thing happens if you put artificial.
We haven't even gotten into the tranny murder cult.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And but yeah, if you take a woman and dump artificial levels of testosterone into her body, she does not know how to handle that. All right, that's all aggression with none of like that stoic capacity, okay, that a man would have. It just purely vents out. Anyway, rambled there for a minute. You want to go back to e-thoughts and home invasions?
Okay, so let's call this getting started with e-thoughts. So yeah, this is a spicy story, guys. I'm kind of excited to bring it to you because there are a lot of factors here that I think are going to be great for the SEO. Amaranth is a professional adult entertainment star, and I say adult entertainment star if I don't know much about her, but if I understand correctly, she doesn't actually make the corn videos so much as does some kind of streaming and like adult toy reviews, stuff like that. But again, I don't do OnlyFans. Although there is a BFM, there is an OnlyFans for Brushfire Mind that we haven't looked at in probably 6 years because it didn't make any money. I wonder why. So anyway, OnlyFans star Amaranth opened fire on masked robbers after they pistol whipped her while attempting to steal $20 million in crypto that she flaunted online. I mean, this story's got everything. A buxom OnlyFans star who bragged online about having $20 million in cryptocurrency was yanked out of bed by a trio of robbers who held her hostage before she opened fire on them and sent them fleeing. So apparently, as the story goes, she's one of those that she had a little money when Bitcoin first became a thing, and so she bought some crypto. She bought several Bitcoins. Apparently, she's got like 20 Bitcoins, and that's money. Because especially if you got into it early, if you started buying Bitcoin like 10, maybe 15 years ago, you were buying at the time something that that you were spending maybe a couple of $100 per Bitcoin, and now it's worth $100,000. That is a hell of a return on investment in just a decade. Now that's not financial advice. I'm not the guy to talk to about crypto. I have a basic understanding of it, but I do not have a good understanding of how to time the market on that thing. I've made a little money buying and selling crypto, but y'all do your own research and get smarter than me before you start spending money, because you're not doing it on my advice.
Yeah, me too. I have only lost money.
Oh no, I've made money on crypto, but
two words: Lunacoin. Yes.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
A buxom OnlyFans star bragged online about having $20 million in cryptocurrency, was yanked out of bed by a trio of robbers. This is obnoxious. Amaranth, whose real name is, that wasn't necessary or useful.
Siragusa. She's Sicilian? I knew something was wrong.
Oh, yes, she is Sicilian. There you go, Mario.
That's a problem.
So, posted by about the terrifying Sunday ordeal on X. I believe I shot one of them, she said. I'm covered in blood, but only some of it is mine, she wrote. Amaranth, who has 6.2 million followers on Twitch, shared a clip that reveals the moment she and her husband turned the tables on her attackers. And I'm not sure if we have the clip here. Gaming streamer and OnlyFans model Caitlin Amaranth Siragusa. Looks like we have. Is this the wait? Is this the footage? I think. Come on.
The New York Post is terrible when it comes to getting these things to play. You'll probably get an ad.
Maybe I can find her tweeting the footage real quick. I'm afraid to go to. All right, I'll do it. I'll go check on X for her and see if I can.
She's actually more softcore than like most of the e-thoughts you get. By the way, Aaron asked, "What is an e-thought?" For those of you who don't speak internet in the current day, a thought is acronym for that hoe over there. Okay, E is electronic, so that's what it means.
Yeah,
it's a pejorative. It's a pejorative.
It is. Okay, cool.
You trying to get a video?
Yeah, I've got it. I just got to share it now.
Are you just trying to roll softcore pics of Amaranth? It'd be pretty sad if. Oh.
Come in here.
Okay,
Sit here.
Oh.
Come on. Go.
That dog is useless.
That's freaking awesome. So, as I understand it, the way this actually went down is she got her phone, security camera footage leading her attackers into a building on her property where her husband was waiting. So she said the robbers kicked at her bedroom door, demanded she give them her cryptocurrency, and then struck her in the face with a pistol. They beat me and pistol whipped me. The pummeling felt like it would never end, she wrote. They gave me a phone and said, log in with a gun to my head, and I tweeted because calling would be a death sentence, she added. She managed to use her phone to post, I'm being robbed at gunpoint, to her ex account. Then she led the assailants into a building where her husband, who had seen her online SOS, was waiting with a pistol. So these, yeah, Waller, 100%. These fucking amateurs handed her a comms device in the middle of an attempted hostage taking, right? And she used that comms device to send a communication to her battle buddy. We'll call him for the purposes of this conversation. She used the device to send an SOS to her husband, led the attackers into the outbuilding where her husband was lying in wait to ambush them with a firearm. And then apparently she grabbed her gun at that point as well. She said it felt like the beating would never end. The would-be robbers may have learned her digital fortune when she posted a screenshot of her Bitcoin and Ethereum balances last November, asking her followers what she should do with her more than 20 million in crypto. There's some ambiguity here because Amaranth did not explain how she acquired a weapon, but said she believes she hit one of the attackers because there was a trail of blood left on her property. And she tagged Staccato, the maker of the high-end handgun that she apparently used. So she led the attackers into an ambush where her husband opened fire on them while she also grabbed a gun and started shooting. And I got to say, based. Absolutely based.
Excellent
I hope my wife is watching right now because, babe, this is the way that things work. Somebody comes in the house and is trying to cause a problem. You bring them to the studio, and we keep our gold in a safe in this shed, and I'm sitting here deaf as I can be, and the door comes open, and we start solving problems.
Yeah.
You walk in on the burglary. It's like, aren't you going to call the police? Why? Nobody knows you're here.
Yeah. Unverified says the pummeling felt like it would never end. Said the e-thought. Yes.
You can't do that shit to me.
Well done. And you just know, like immediately after, she probably wanted to go live. Okay, with like the blood stains and stuff all over her.
I think she did,
because that would generate a shit ton of money, like right on the spot. Okay, but probably her husband or pimp, if you will, was probably like, actually, no. For legal purposes, no, you stay off the computer thought.
Check this out. After the break-in, she dropped the subscription fee for her OnlyFans account for 30 days with the note, I already got robbed. Might as well let you back in for free.
Shameless. We need it, absolutely shameless. We have to do a show at some point on the simp-pocalypse, okay? Basically the enormous sums of capital that are flowing out of the pockets of lonely men into basically into personalities online, under the false promise that they may in fact in return get crumbs worth of pussy. Okay, we need to do a show on that at some point.
Gentlemen, let me tell you something. There are a lot of wonderful art galleries, wineries, little bed and breakfasts near you where, for the low cost of less than you will spend on a year's subscription to trash on OnlyFans, you could impress a high-value mate. And then, yes, I know. Hold your breath for this one. You could do your patriotic duty by pumping out a half a dozen tax returns. Gentlemen, get to work.
You know what? I dare say there may be a unifying theory, okay, between the Simppocalypse and the trans revolution, okay? Because you've got, I mean, just what do we have at the heart of both of these, okay? Lonely men who are oftentimes shut-ins, okay? So what are you going to do? Are you going to basically do a little bit every day of self-improvement, okay, to the point where you can go out in public and feel confident, okay, in your appearance and your ability, okay, and not be basically an erotic mess, all right? Or are you going to give into the dark side and start tuning out and trying to develop a brand new identity because you hate the one you were born with, okay? There is a unifying theory behind simping and transin, all right? Unverified agrees. Yeah, that was pretty. That was unintentionally profound.
Yeah, and me and Mario, we're gonna have to do some of these Rumble. We got to do at least 5 hours of Rumble Premium exclusives a month to keep the creator status, which, by the way, is already turning revenue. Just so you know, I mean, it's not a lot of revenue. We've only been at it for a week, but it is happening. So we're moving in the right direction. I hope to one day be able to make Mario and Cameron both quit their jobs. So, I need to go ahead and put a pin in it there. So it is time for the safety brief. We're going into the weekend, guys. Don't drive drunk. Don't fry bacon naked. I know, Mario, you're safe because it's Lent and it is not yet St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, y'all, thanks for watching the show this morning. We appreciate it. Click on the link in the description to support the show at buymeacoffee.com/brushfiremind. Like, share, and subscribe, because remember, like I said yesterday, the faster we can grow on YouTube, the faster we can push everybody to fire those commie assholes and move over to Rumble, where your money makes a difference. Your money goes to people who don't hate you. Right? Yep. Remember, when you're watching on YouTube, your money is going to people who hate you. So
YouTube is Google, and Google is not your friend.
No, Google is China.
Yep.
So y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we will see you on Monday at the latest.
So what do you want? You want to do a